Hello students, welcome to my channel Pediatric Classes. Today we are going to discuss about a topic nutrition. Discuss basically the questions which are frequently asked during your short viva session during your practical examination. So first what they do generally is they will give you a food item. They may ask a few questions related to it, like for example protein, what is the protein content of that food item, or the calorie content, or what are the deficiency diseases, etc. So I will just show you the food item and then explain to you the thing. So first of all, let me show you this. Can you make out? So this is the rice, okay. We also have this rice. This is a white rice or a polished rice, okay. Polished rice. Can you make out the difference between these two? Okay. Parboiled rice is also there and a polished rice is also there, which are very much frequently asked. So related to the rice, we will have a discussion. The rice, the calories are around 350 calories for uncooked rice. Okay, so one for 100 grams. And for once cooked, what will happen? The rice tends to swell up. So we should know that 100 gram of cooked rice has around 175 kilocalories. Then what is the difference between a polished rice and an unpolished or a parboiled rice? So for that you have to understand in detail about what is the structure of the grain. So once you take a cereal, suppose you take a rice, they have three layers. One is the embryo, then we have the inner endosperm and also the outer pericarp and the alluron layer. So the outer pericarp or the alluron layer contains almost so much vitamins are there, and the inner endosperm and all those things will contain mostly starch. So once you start just giving a polished rice like this, what happens? You are taking the outer layer of it. So all the essential vitamins and minerals may be lost, and this will cause the deficiency disease of bile complex, that is the beriberi. So what is happening in parboiling? Parboiling is what you do to we have to lock in the vitamins into the grain. So what we do is we actually boil the rice or soak the rice in the, it is actually called as hot soaking process. So we soak the rice in hot water at 70 degrees Celsius. What will happen once you soak the rice at 70 degrees? This will swell the grain up, and then we drain the water out and you give steam for a while and then you dry it. So during that steaming process, what happens? All the vitamins which are present, almost all the vitamins are present in the outer alluron layer will be driven into the endosperm layer and will be locked in. And moreover, once you after steaming, once you dry it, this rice will become more harder, more resistant to germs, and we can actually store it for longer time. So parboiling has two advantages. One is it increases the shelf life of rice. Another thing is it locks in the nutrients. Now please note here, there is a difference between an uncooked rice and a cooked rice. As you all know, you take 1 cup of rice and you cook it, you will get 2 cups of cooked rice, 2 cups of cooked rice. So uncooked rice is 100 grams 370 calories, whereas cooked rice we will get 170. So for all practical purposes, learn that 1 cup of cooked rice you get 175 kilocalories and 7 grams of proteins. Why are we actually combining these cereals with pulses? Here is important that this is a complementary action. Actually, we have rice, wheat and maize. If you take rice, it is deficient in lysine. If you take wheat, it is deficient in lysine and threonine. Maize is deficient in lysine and tryptophan. So whereas the pulses are deficient in methionine. So once you combine it, what happens? We get a combination where all the essential amino acids are actually present. That is precisely what is called as a complementary action happening. Okay, maize is deficient in lysine and tryptophan. That is why in maize eating population, very common, we see pellagra. Let me take some pulses. This one, as you all know, these are the green gram. Okay, so what is this? This is our Bengal gram or chana, namada kadala. So okay, so then we have, this is our yellow dal. The color has slightly changed because this we have kept for last year exams. We have to change it. Okay, so this is yellow dal. Then I think I have showed you green moong dal or the This I showed you, no? Green gram or the moong dal. Then actually I don't have to show that urud or the urud dal is here. That is the black gram actually, black gram or urud gram. Then also you need to know about soya. Every pulses, please understand, you will get from 100 grams around 350 kilocalories of 340 to 350 kilocalories of kilocalories we will get, and also 20 to 24 grams of proteins. So which is the best protein? If someone asks you, please answer that is nothing but soya, which actually gives you around double, around 44 grams of proteins. Okay, and about the calorie content, it is around 430. Okay, rest all are around 340 to 360 kilocalories and 22 gram of protein, whereas soya will give you around 44 grams of protein and 430 kilocalories. That some things happen when we actually germinate. There's nothing but the vitamin C content increases in the cereals once you germinate. What happens once there is fermentation? Once there is fermentation, there are all the main vitamins like riboflavin, niacin, thiamine, etc. increases. So this is a very important question. And anti-nutritional factors like phytates, which actually interfere with the absorption of this food items. I think I will show you one thing. What is this? This is oil. Okay, so irrespective whether it's oil or ghee or butter, just remember that around 1 teaspoon will give you 40 kilocalories. What we have to discuss is about the milk. Please remember cow's milk and breast milk, both are important. You should know each and everything about this two and the differences between the two. So milk, if you someone asks you, there is no difference in calorie between the cow's milk or the breast milk. That gives around 67 to 70 kilocalories per 100 ml. But where is the difference? First thing we should understand, there is no difference in calories, but there is definitely difference in proteins. The protein content of cow's milk is around 3.5 grams as against 1.5 grams in breast milk. But the protein in cow's milk is mostly casein. Okay, whereas the protein in breast milk is mostly whey proteins, especially lactalbumin and lactoferrin. Casein is more in cow's protein, whereas whey protein is more in breast milk. And the osmolality of cow's milk is so high, so we say the solute load of cow's milk is high and the solute load of cow's breast milk is lesser. Another important point is about the calcium phosphorus ratio. The calcium phosphorus ratio in breast milk is more than 2. So this is very important in absorption. Though the absolute amount of calcium is lesser in breast milk compared to a cow's milk, because of the very favorable ratio, the absorption is much more than the cow's milk. Both cow's milk and breast milk are deficient in vitamin C and iron. What is skimmed milk and what is a toned milk? Skimmed milk is when you devoid or the fat content of the milk, that is a skimmed milk. But what is a toned milk is actually we are mixing, suppose 1 volume of water, 1 volume of natural milk and 1/8 volume of a milk powder, skimmed milk powder, that will give you the toned milk. One another thing is the breast milk is the sweetest milk. The lactose content in breast milk is very high as compared to the cow's milk. And about the fat content, the cow's milk has more fat for 4.1% as against the breast milk of around 3.1%. So in short, the breast milk is always superior than the cow's milk. So if someone asks you what is the calorie, 100 ml, it is 67 to 70 kilocalories. 1 glass, it is 70 kilocalories, but cow's milk with sugar, it becomes 130 kilocalories with 6 grams of proteins. So what about tea? Tea, here the thing is milk is less, water is more, and but you are adding the sugar. So in tea we have 75 kilocalories, whereas coffee is around 100 kilocalories with 1.8 grams proteins. So in short, about milk you should know it is 70 kilocalories. Okay, 100 ml, whereas when you add sugar and all those things, you should be able to say that 1 glass of tea will be 75 kilocalories with 1 gram of protein, whereas coffee, it will be 110 kilocalories with 1.8 grams protein, whereas 1 glass of milk with 2 teaspoons of sugar, 130 kilocalories with 6 grams of protein. What is eggs? Eggs, okay? Very important, because our reference protein. All the essential amino acids are present in the correct proportion. So this is our reference protein. This NPU, it is biological value and the digestibility quotient divided by 100. Some technical terms like you can say protein energy ratio, that is, what is protein energy ratio? The energy derived from proteins divided by the energy derived from food into 100. That is one thing. Then net protein utilization we have discussed. Then biological value is amount of nitrogen retained in the body divided by amount of nitrogen absorbed into 100. Egg has got all the nutritive components except carbohydrates. Net protein utilization of the egg is 100. It has all the essential amino acids in the right proportions. It is a standard against which the quality of all other proteins are compared. The NPU of egg is taken as 100 and that of meat is taken as 80. The NPU of milk is 75. So you have to know what is an egg. A 60 gram egg contains 80 kilocalories. Okay. Then it has 6 grams proteins and 6 grams fat. It also has calcium and iron. So calcium around 30 milligram is there and iron of around 1.5 milligram. It also has 250 milligram of cholesterol. I repeat, a 160 gram or standard size egg has around 6 grams proteins, 6 grams fat, 30 milligram of calcium, 1.5 milligram of iron, 250 milligram of cholesterol. So this is very important and the calorie is 80 kilocalories. See, the egg has albumin also is there, egg yolk is also there. Albumin has certain proteins which can actually be allergenic. The raw egg is not assimilated by the body. So once you boil the egg, what happens is the protein, the avidin, an inhibitory substance which actually prevents the absorption of biotin, is destroyed. So always use boiled egg. Boiling will destroy avidin, which is a substance which prevents the absorption of biotin. And then they may ask you a few questions related to the meat and fish and all those things. So whatever, remember, every 100 gram will give you 70 kilocalories. So and 20 grams of protein. So 100 gram of fish or 100 gram of meat will give 70 kilocalories and 20 grams of protein. And fish has less iron than meat. Meat has around 2 to 4 milligram iron per 100 gram. Then fish, which is from the sea, which is will be very rich in iodine. Fish, I repeat, it is every 100 grams 70 kilocalories and 20 grams protein. Now I'll discuss with you another. I'll show you some other thing. What is this? Can you make out? I don't know whether the video is clear. It's looking like some mustard seeds only, but this is not mustard. This is ragi. Please, students, my students always get confused between this ragi and mustard. Please don't get confused. Ragi seeds are comparatively smaller. Just look carefully. This is very important complementary food. So what is the difference between exclusive breastfeeding and a complementary feeding? Exclusive breastfeeding means the child is fed only breast milk, not even water. Okay, and this, except, okay, they can give, there are only 3 exceptions. People say, examiners always says, one is ORS, another thing is medicines, another thing is multivitamin. Other than these 3, nothing is given in an exclusively breastfed child. So remember, exclusive breastfeeding is only breastfeeding, not even water, except maybe ORS, medicines, or some multivitamins. So this once what is happening in complementary feeding is we are slowly introducing nutritive foods along with breastfeeding. This is a very easily digestible thing. So it's a millet actually. What type of category it belongs to? Millets means small cereals. Small cereals, there are millets like bajra, ragi, etc. etc. So jowar. So we have to know detail about ragi. Why is ragi very important? It is an excellent source of iron and calcium. So if you see, every 100 grams of ragi, again it has 350 kilocalories and 7 grams of protein. Along with it, it also has 3.14 milligram of calcium, 3.9 milligram of iron and also iodine. So I repeat, ragi, every 100 grams contains 350 kilocalories and 7 gram of protein. It also has 3.14 milligram of calcium, 3.9 milligram of iron and also iodine. Now my question is, can you name any other some sources which are very rich in calcium? Okay, other than milk, yes, you have already milk, cheese, curd and all those things. Then ragi, yes, you have, right. Then agatha leaves are there. And then drumstick leaves, very important source of calcium. Even seedapple, I don't know, custard apple it is called, they are also very important or rich source of calcium. Coming to the green leafy vegetables, they are excellent sources of vitamins and minerals here, but the calories are very less. 100 grams will give only 25 to 50 calories. So if you take at least 2 spoons of vegetable, some thoran or something, it will be around hardly, sabzi, it will be around hardly 4 kilocalories only. So we'll be very careful while calculating the nutrition requirement. Now I remember one thing, do you remember how you calculate the nutrition required or the expected nutrition or calorie requirement of a child? Please use, in one of the videos I have already mentioned, please use the formula, Holiday-Segar's formula. Up to 10 kg, it is the 100 kilocalories per kg. 10 to 20 kg, it is 1000 plus 50 calories per kg. For every kg above 10 and beyond 20 kg, it is 1500 plus 20 calories per kg for every kg beyond 20. Please note here, the calories are calculated according to the expected weight of the child. So you have to know the formulas for the expected weight also. All this we have discussed in our earlier videos on growth in children. Please note and please revise, because these are all very frequently asked questions. And then what is happening is they may give you something like this and they will ask you what is this. So you have to answer it is a lemon. They may show you an orange and they'll ask you what is it rich in. So you have this vitamin C. Then what is the deficiency diseases? Yes, you might answer it is scurvy. Then we can expect questions from vitamin A and also deficiency diseases of vitamin A. Yes, you have to answer as xerophthalmia, and you may have to even know the grades of the night blindness or deficiencies. Then another thing they can always ask is bananas. If they ask you one banana, it is around 100 kilocalories or 2 plantains. That's how I remember, one banana or 2 plantains is 100 kilocalories. Rest all of the fruits, they can show you apple, they can, most of it will have around 50 kilocalories only. But one another thing I forgot, that is about the nuts. Nuts actually around 100 grams will give you 550 kilocalories and 24 grams protein. Always compare and learn. Remember in pulses we learned 100 grams has 340 kilocalories and 20 grams of protein, whereas in fats we have 550 kilocalories and 24 grams of proteins. But that is not practically useful when you actually calculate the nutrition requirements. So here what I recommend is to know that the cashew nut around 8 to 10 numbers will be around 150 kilocalories and around 5 grams of protein. And if you say dates, 4 dates, it will be around 35 kilocalories with 0.5 grams of protein. Another thing important is sugar, because 1 teaspoon is 20 kilocalories, no proteins are there. Another thing is about biscuits, that is 1 biscuit will be around 20 kilocalories with 0.5 grams of protein. 1 idli, 1 dosa, 1 all in one, okay. 1 idli, 1 dosa, 1 chapati, 1 slice of bread, or 2 small puris or 2 small vadas. All this will be around 70 kilocalories. Actually, I'm sorry for the voice interruptions. Actually, I'm in the hospital. Why I took it here? Because then only I will be able to show you all these things. So, in short, in this session, we have discussed about rice, both polished and the parboiled rice. We also discussed about egg, meat, and also different types of pulses. As a quick recap, I will show you once again. This is our green grams or moong dal. I'll also show you this Bengal gram or chana, or what we see as kadala. Then we have this is a red gram or one pyre. Okay, this is the tur dal. This is our yellow dal. We have our jaggery. We have our rice. This is our polished rice. Then we also discussed about cow's milk, breast milk, etc. So I request all of you to make notes and revise, and hope you all stay safe and read well. Thank you. Take care.